What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to JD's Nerdiverse. We're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Crystal, the first ever playthrough of Pokemon Crystal with Mew, the new species Pokemon. I thought of a little bit of symmetry to have Mew be the last Pokemon in Gen 1 and the first Pokemon in Gen 2, but we're going to go and face our rival. Mew has just Pound, and we're facing off against Totodile. There really isn't a great option. We really have every team in the game, so it doesn't matter, but Totodile usually is one of the better Pokemon, is arguably the best starter in the game, so that's what I thought. And we named our rival Triple ? And that seems to be the cliche answer for everyone because that's what's given in the game. And we're going to go ahead and go on route, I believe it's Route 31 or Route 30. Yeah, it's Route 30. So we are going to go ahead and face all these trainers on Route 30 just to get experience. So while that's going on, let me go over this with you. Please make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can get videos like this all the time. I do playthroughs of Pokemon Crystal, and I'm going to do it in order, just like I did in Generation 1. I did skip over all of the Generation 1 Pokemon except for Mew, and I'm going to play through all Generation 2, and I'll circle back to those. But I want to do these first, because they haven't had any representation on this channel other than Mew. But Mew is basically gets every H team in the game, so I thought it'd be a great way to help learn the game. I have not played Crystal very much. I have always played Pokemon Silver, because Pokemon Crystal does not have one of my favorite Pokemon, which is the Flaffy Mareep Ampharis line. So I've always avoided it. I may have played it one time when I was younger, but I've always avoided Crystal because I didn't like it for that reason. So yep, avoided it. And make sure you subscribe and also comment and like. So if you have questions about things, I reply to every comment unless you're rude. But I do reply to every comment, so make sure you have a question. Don't hesitate to comment and ask what's going on, why'd you do this. More than happy to answer those questions. So in my playthroughs, I think I'm going to play through Bellsprout Tower with everyone. I'm not going to avoid it. I mean, there's probably one or two Pokemon that's going to need to avoid it because of their typing. But I think I should play through it regardless. It's going to be great for experience, and we're going to start off on a good foot going forward. So let me know what you think of the layout as well. So I've switched my layout from having things on both sides and looking like a video game to this. And the timer is transparent rather than it being a block that's black with white writing. So let me just think of that. And I personally like these, and all the ones I've done for other Pokemon that look very good. They look very sharp. So I really enjoy this, and I think it's really simplistic. And I don't have the tech savvy enough to code the game so I can do things. So like, for example, this game does have some challenges because there's spinning trainers that you have to avoid, or else you get in so many fights it takes a long time. And I have to do a better practice of avoiding those because I don't have there's apparently other YouTubers Pokemon tubers have the ability to code out that in the game where they don't spin. So I don't have that ability. So we're gonna have to try to do it the old-fashioned way and just try to avoid fights. So we are finishing up here. We got like one more person to fight, and we're gonna move on to our first gym badge, or first gym fight with, what's his name? What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. I'll get it here in a second. Faulkner, there we go. And like I said, we're finishing up this battle. Please make sure you comment. And like I said, this is my first run of Crystal in a long time. I think I've only played through it maybe twice. I know Silver, so it's not too different, but there is subtle differences. So that is something I have to, kind of get around. And this is my first playthrough, so Mew is the guinea pig. So you're going to see a time at the end that probably does not show a good representation of a good fast playthrough, but you're showing a representation of me learning this on the go. And there's a lot of information I've gathered with that, and I probably have some areas where the timer will be stopped for gathering up rare candies after the Elite Four, for example, and so on and so forth. So Faulkner's badge, the way this game is designed is every gym leader in this game, not only does every other gym leader give you a boost in your stats, Faulkner gives you a boost in attack, but he also gives you a boost in flying type moves. And every gym does that. The next gym is the Bug Gym leader. Bugsy is a gym leader and when you beat Bugsy, you get a boost in bug type moves by 12.5%. So this game adds another element to it. You also have the element of held items. I have a held item right now. It's an amulet coin. I coded that in the game just because there's nothing else you can do, and a code in that's going to be very helpful early, other than maybe rare candies. And Faulkner's a pretty easy battle. That's why I talked right over. It's actually one of the worst gym leaders in the game. How he has a level 9 Pidgeotto when it doesn't evolve, it's like level 16 or something. I don't know. But he does because he's a cheater, and a lot of gym leaders are cheaters. So we do get a TM from him. It's Mud Slap. That will be very useful going forward. And now we move on to Azalea Town. In Azalea Town, we have to fight the rocket plot lines. Now, I'm gonna give you a heads up if you don't know this already. The plot lines in Pokemon Silver, Gold, and Crystal, with when it comes to Team Rocket, are not very good. They're not the best, so a lot of this stuff I'll try to avoid. But I wanted to show as much of the fighting as early as possible because we're eventually going to get to the point where I'm just showing gym battles, and I want to show a little bit more of the development of these Pokemon, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. And the thing about Mew is Mew has great stats. And I didn't go over this yet. We named our Mew Cleo. Cleo is the name of my cat. Kind of a jerk. He's a jerk cat. Just keep that in mind. And we got a move in the cave we just came through. And I forgot to grab something. I think it's Route 31 is what it is. I forgot to grab something in that cave. Or I grabbed it and forgot to apply it. So in that cave, you can grab a couple things, but one of the main things you grab is Swift. I did not add Swift. I stupidly didn't do it. If I were to play through this game immediately, I would add Swift immediately. Because right now we're using Pound, which is a 40 base power move. And we have Mud Slap. I think Mud Slap's like 20 base power, but it is a ground move. So that's why I'm using it, is because it's a better attacking move than other moves out there. Yeah, it's 20 base power. And Pound is 40, whereas Swift would have been 60, and it doesn't miss. So big mistake there on my part. It is what it is. You know, you live, you learn. And I'll probably never forget that ever again, but you gotta forget it on the first Pokemon to make sure you remember it. And it cost us our first battle against Bugsy. So just letting you know that, you're gonna see a battle right now, and it's because I did two stupid things. One, I didn't add Swift here, but now we're fighting Bugsy, who Bugsy I thought was always a girl, but it's actually a dude. So Metapod comes out, and like I said, we don't have Swift, so we gotta rely on Pound, and we gotta rely on Mud Slap. Mud Slap does lower accuracy, but it's a ground move, and I stupidly did that on Scyther here. If I'd have gone for Pound first turn, I probably would have beat Scyther. Probably would have beat him, and I wouldn't have had to worry about you know, getting knocked out and having to reset. But again, I didn't add Swift. Swift would have made this probably been like a 2-hit, and I wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But because I went for Mud Slap instead of Pound, he got an extra turn on me, build up that Fury Cutter. Fury Cutter like doubles its damage output every turn, so it gets progressively worse, kind of like Rollout. So now we're gonna do this again. Instead, we're gonna go for Pound, which is very good. Yep, and gets a little bit better. And one more hit should knock him out. And then we have one Pokemon left. We actually level up and get Mega Punch, which is very nice, but it would have been nicer to have that. If I just leveled up and got to level 20 before I fought Bugsy, that would have been a lot better. But I wanted to beat him, and we do. And now we are moving on to our next rival fight. Next rival fight's tricky. Mud Slap does come in handy very much with that next rival fight. So we're heading out, and we're going to go face our rival. And now we're moving on to our rival. Now the rival right here will be tricky for a lot of Pokemon because it has a Ghastly. And Ghastly can't get hit by normal moves, so you have to have something other than normal moves. But with, you know, Mew, we have every move in the game. But at this point, you don't have a lot of moves you get. And you've got Mud Slap, we've gotten Swift, and we've gotten Fury Cutter. So if Pokemon can't learn one of those three, it better learn one naturally. It's going to be, you have to delete all of our power points to defeat this guy. But we defeat him pretty handily, like I said. And we go into Ecruteak Forest, where we get a move called Headbutt, and Headbutt's great. It's a very powerful move. It's much better than Mega Punch. It's much better than Pound. So it's a big move upgrade to have that move. Now we actually added Swift now because we should have done it earlier. It is what it is. It's like I said, learning this new game. Well, it's not a new game, but it's learning to play this game that I haven't played in a long time and consistently. So we get a coin case. The reason why we did that is we're going to go get an Abra here in a minute. But what we're going to do first is we're going to buy some of the elemental punches. This is one of the best things about this game. In Goldenrod City, you can buy, there's 4 moves you can buy at the Pokemon Center. And one of them is Fire Punch, Electric Punch, Ice Punch, and then you can actually, I think you can buy Headbutt as well. So if you lose Headbutt, or you don't get it, or you have to delete it for another move, you can always teach it back. So right now we're at the gaming center, gaming corner, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to buy, you get $100 worth of coins, and we're going to buy an Abra. Abra helps when it comes to moving, and I will use this better than I did in this game. So basically, whatever the last Pokemon Center you've been to, he will teleport you back, which is what I do right here. So I'm going to teleport back. and we teleport right back to Goldenrod City, and we're gonna go ahead and face the Goldenrod Whitney. This is one of the toughest gym leaders you come across, because she has a move it's actually the last 2 gym leaders have had a move like this. Like Fury Cutter builds momentum over time, so does Rollout. And Rollout was a tricky one when I was a kid. I actually never had too many issues because I always had Cyndaquil, and I always had Walper, and I always had Ampharis or Flaffy or whatever. So Thunder Punch was a thing, Ice Punch was a thing, so I never had those issues. But this is consistently one of the most toughest gym leaders most people come across. So we're going to face her. Comes out with Clefairy. We just don't want to have a metronome, something crazy happen. So Ice Punch is 50%. Thunderbolt doesn't do squat. Level up to 24. And then she comes out with Miltank. Miltank, we freeze her, him, whatever it is. It's a her, okay. And we win pretty handily. We didn't deal with much there. So she's going to cry about it, and we're going to leave and come back, right back. And we're going to get, I guess it's Attract, I think is what we get. Not a great move. The gym leaders in this game don't give the greatest moves. They give moves that have 20 base power, like Mud Slap, Attract, which does do nothing, Fury Cutter, which kind of phases itself out after a little bit. So that's also something that changed about this game to Silver, is the way you get the water gun to squirt this guy is different. You have to go to someone who's like up here, like just up there. You talk to her, then you gotta go back, and she gives you the water bottle. So now we're facing the Kimono Girls. I'm just gonna let them all play through. They're all pretty easy fights anyway, so just go ahead and watch this. And I'll talk a little bit. So this is the area of the game where you can veer off and go whatever direction you want. You have kind of free reign. So if you have a Pokemon you think will do well against one side of the game, you can go to the other side. We do have to beat Morty to use Surf, so that is a requirement. We can't go do a lot of things until we get Surf. But right now is an area where we can go ahead and do whatever we want. It's a little bit, it's nice because it lets you pick your things, like whatever you want to do. But in this situation, it's not always the best. It's not the best thing because they scaled the game level-wise of all the trainers to whichever way you went, you wouldn't be under-leveled. So that means, like, if you go one way, when you go the opposite direction, you're over-leveled. So nothing scales to your liking. I think the trainers should be a little bit harder. So if you have to go back and heal a few times, so be it. That's my personal opinion. But yeah, so now, like I said, Eggsceptional City, we're beating the Kimono Girls, which is basically every iteration of Eevee at this point, and now we're facing I think it's our 3rd rival fight. So this 3rd rival fight is going to come out with a Haunter. Now we have plenty of moves to face this Haunter, so Dig is going to be the one-shot on the Haunter, and Crocodile's going to come out. I don't think Dig will do the same thing, but we're going to see what happens. Headbutt is about a little less than half, so it's about 40%, so we get the knockout pretty handily. And now he's got 2 more Pokemon. Magnemite, Dig will knock it out in one shot. Very good. And Zubat will come out. Can't use Dig against Zubat, but Ice Punch will be a one-shot. Very good. We beat our rival. We fall through the floor. We're not going to show that. We're going to move on to Morty. Morty has a bunch of Ghost-type Pokemon, and I added Dig strictly for this battle. Dig will make these battles pretty much obsolete. We could probably use Ice Punch if we wanted to, but Dig is a one-shot. Very good on the Ghastly. Haunter, is it a one-shot? It is a one-shot. Now, they changed the power points in this game. In Generation 1, it's 100 base power. In Generation 2, it's 60. So it's not quite as powerful, but it's still an effective move against Morty and Ghost types nonetheless, because they haven't learned Levitate yet. That's in a future generation. So we beat Morty. We get the badge. We move on to the next portion of the game. Here we go. There we go. And we're moving on. What we're doing is we're going to Lake of Rage, but I wanted to show that I came across a wild Entei. So that's what I wanted to do. I tried to hit it, so I was like, maybe I should catch this, but now I'm not going to keep fighting for it. But I thought I should show you this, and this is where we get a really nice move called Hidden Power. So Hidden Power is a move you can get in the game, and what it does is, based on your stats, it has a typing. So we chose Psychic typing, because we get every other move, so there's no point in having like an Ice type or whatever. But this will give us a powerful Psychic move up until the point where I get to move Psychic. So it's only a few levels where it's effective, but it hits like a tank. It's 70 base power. With our stab, it's 105 base power move. So very helpful, very effective, and especially against Chuck, who's Psychic, who is the karate or fighting type gym leader. Very useful. And now we move on to Price. Price is the Ice type trainer or gym leader, and he's not very good. I'm just gonna be honest. It's not very difficult. I hit the wrong button there. We have an item equipped called the Charcoal. which makes our fire type moves that much more effective. So Dugong and Seal are more like water ice, so it's kind of a neutral. But Paloswine will be a one shot with fire punch, and we get the very easy win against Price, and we move on to the next part of the game. Now the next part of the game, part of it is actually dealing with. Actually, I'll just go over this first. So I kept the charcoal attached because we had two gym leaders where we had a huge advantage with fire type, ice type, and now we're doing steel. Fire punch is a one shot on the Magnemite. It should be a one shot on the second Magnemite. Very good. And now Steelix comes out. We're going to do Fire Punch again, and it's a one-shot. Very good. Very, very, very easy battle with Jasmine. And we get the win against Jasmine. It's not really that big a deal. And we go ahead and move on to the fights against, Team Rocket. Now, like I said, the fights with Team Rocket are not very hard, so we're just going to show our rival fight here. Our rival's going to come out with I believe he starts off with a Ghastly again. Oh, no, Golbat. Zubat is evolved into a Golbat. So Golbats get the knockout there. Very good. Then he's going to come out with a Sneasel. Sneasel's weak to fire. Fire knockout. We still have Charcoal equipped. Very good. Feraligatr comes out. Shouldn't be anything super crazy with this. We go for Psychic. And it's not quite a one-shot, but we have so much health right now, it's not even close. Comes out with a Magnemite. Magnemite will be a one-shot with Fire Punch because it's part Steel. We have literally everything, something for something is what I like to call. And so Psychic should be a one-shot. Very good. And is that the win? I believe it is. Okay, yeah, that's a win. A very easy fight there. And now we move on to Claire. Claire, so this is where we picked up the Never Melt Ice, and now we're going to focus on using Ice Punch. She has all Dragon-type Pokemon. So Ice Punch will be a one-shot. Very good. Like I said, I'm very high level because I haven't been able to miss a lot of these spinners. So I'm very high level right now. So we're over leveled to face the gym leaders, which is fine. It is what it is. So now we face Kingdra, the last Pokemon that we two-shot with Ice Punch, and we get the win. And I'm not going to go over the Claire storyline where she calls you a cheater and she doesn't want to give you a badge, whatever. But we do get the win. And so now we're moving on to our rival right before the Elite Four. This is our last rival fight we will face in this game. So let's go ahead and check this out. Sends out a Sneasel. Sneasel will go down to a Fire Punch really easy. We're 20 levels higher. We're going to steamroll this guy, okay? Golbat comes out. Go for Ice Punch. Knockout. Very good. I don't remember what item I'm holding right now. I think it's still the Never Melt Ice. But Magneton will give you one shot. Very good. Haunter will come out. Psych will be a one shot. Very good. And then we have Kadabra will come out. And I think Ancient Power will knock it out. Very good. And Feraligatr will come out, and we're going to go for Ancient Power. He goes for Rage, doesn't do much, and we get the knockout. Two-shot, and we beat our rival. Our rival never really is a competition in this game. The second rival is the problem. Alright, so we're about to go into the Elite Four, and let's go and look at the stats of this Pokemon really fast. So stats, we're at level 54. The moves we have at this point, we're holding the Never Melt Ice, which boosts attack of Ice Punch. We have Ice Punch, Fire Punch, Psychic, and Ancient Power. I do have Thunder Punch waiting in the wains in case I need to use it. So that's available to us, but I doubt we're going to need it. But those are our moves right now, and we're going to go into the stats. So here are our stats going into the Elite Four. Like I said, level 54, where our attack is 150, our defense is 146, special attack is 150, special defense is 150, and speed is 150. So defense is the only thing that's really fallen by the wayside. But the other things are pretty solid. So let's go ahead and head into the Elite Four. And let's go ahead and get this win. So the first member of the Elite Four is, I believe it's Will. So Will comes out. And Will's a Psychic type trainer. Alright. Exatu, whatever it's called. Ice Punch will be a one-shot on it. So it's like, you know what? The first one was horrible. Let's send out the second one. And we knocked that one out too. And now he's going to bring out his Jinx. Jinx is not the greatest Pokemon, but Fire Punch does one-shot it because it's Ice type. And now he's going to send out Executor, which we should go for the same thing. Actually, we should have Ice Beam because Ice Beam's boosted with power to make sure the thing can't put us to sleep or something. And now we're on to Slowbro. We don't really have anything great against Slowbro. It's got good defense. It's Psychic type, so our two best moves, Ice Punch and Fire Punch, neither one of them are going to be super effective. So we're just going to go and we're going to lock it out. But it can't do anything to us either. So that's kind of the thing. And we beat Will pretty handily. Pretty easy. Moving on to Koga. And we're going to make sure we heal up. I don't think we need to heal up. Yeah, it's just a little bit of health. Just give it a berry. Just give him the berry. And we're waiting. We're saving. We're waiting. We're saving. We're waiting and we're saving and we're waiting and saving. Okay. So now we're gonna go ahead and face Koga. Okay, he's a ninja. I am ninja. He ninja. And we're gonna face Koga. He's got a lot of bug and things that are weak to fire, more or less, is what it is. That's probably what I was contemplating, was switching over to the charcoal, so we can get a little bit of boost in our fire moves, but not quite necessary because we get a one shot on the first two Pokemon. Crobat comes out. We're gonna go for Ice Punch. It's actually more powerful, and it's a pretty powerful Pokemon, so it's good that we got the one shot there. Gonna go for Fire Punch on the Venomoth. We knock it out, very good. And we just have one more Pokemon Muck. There's nothing really great it has against us, but we have Psychic to knock it out in one shot. So we steamroll through Koga's entire team. He really hasn't improved much from his gym leader days. So we're going to go ahead and beat him, and we're going to move on to Bruno. Bruno's gotten a little bit better in this game. So we're going to go ahead and make sure we use Ether to boost up our Psychic types. Make sure we have enough, because all we need to do is use Psychic, and we can steamroll through his entire team. We usually don't talk about Bruno. We're going to talk about it a little bit here, because like I said, his team has gotten better. Hit him on top. As long as we go first, we'll be a one shot. Very good. We should go first against everything in here. So we're going to go for Ice Punch, one shot. Very good. We are over leveled. I'm not even going to argue that point. If you want to complain about that in the comments, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, I'm mapping out the game and trying to figure out how many trainers I need, and a lot of spinners. I ran into a lot of spinners. So we steamroll the entire team of Bruno, and we move on to Karen. Now, Karen's team is Dark type, so that completely negates my move, Psychic. So we have to use other moves to beat her. And just making sure I'm going over the stats. So we don't have anything great against a lot of our Pokemon. But she doesn't really have anything great against us, other than the fact if it's a Dark type move, it may be more effective. So, yeah, let's go ahead and give a potion here, just to be safe. We just did the elixir, just did the potion. So we're going to save, and then we're going to face Karen. Like I said, Dark type, so Psychic has no use in this battle at all. So our best move is negated. This would have been a great example where Secret Power might have been more useful if I did it for something else, but we're going to face her nonetheless. So I'm going to go for Ancient Power. Now, Ancient Power has this ability where it's called the Omni Boost, where if you hit it, I think it ups your attack, special attack, and special defense by like a stage or two, and it raises it really high. So that's a possibility when we use Ancient Power, but it's not always a move that we're going to hit, like we just missed right there. And that might be because, see right there, I think we got our special defense dropped because of Houndoom. So we're going to go for Psychic. Gengar can get hit by Psychic. It's not a Dark type Pokemon. So we get paralyzed and Sand Attack. So the combination of both those things is, in my opinion, is the reason why we lost this battle. So we get knocked out because we're not going to knock this guy out because we don't go first because we're paralyzed. And we have to take a reset here. Not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. We just got to make sure we knock out that Umbreon early so it doesn't Sand Attack us. That was kind of the kicker in the game. So we face Karen again. Karen's going to come out with her Umbreon. And we go for Ice Punch. We still get Sand Attack, but we don't get Sand Attacked again. Goes for Feint Attack. Fun stuff. Now we just use 2 of our Ancient Powers. And now we just got a boost in all of our stats. We actually hit the Omni Boost there. So we're going to go for Ice Punch now. Our move's a little bit more boosted now with that happening. Murkrow comes out. Ice Punch will be a one-shot. Very good. Or Murkrow, not Murkrow. Now we're going to set out Houndoom. Ancient Power. Misses again. It's such a great when this move misses. And we get the one-shot with Ancient Power, which is very... I don't think it's lucky because it wasn't a critical hit. So it must be because of the stat boost. Psychic's a one-shot in the Gengar. And as long as we can hit a Fire Punch, we didn't. But as long as we can hit a Fire Punch, we should one-shot the Vileplume. Very good. And that was the last Pokemon. So if we just could have hit one Fire Punch against Vileplume the first time, it would have been a first-try victory. So now we're at the point where we want to heal up because we're about to face the champion. We've beaten all 4 members of the Elite Four, and the champion is Lance. As my dude Squidgy, which I recommend you go check him out, says, the liar with the flyers, because he has all flying type, and then he has 3 Dragonites, which is 1 dragon type, 1 Pokemon that's dragon type, and the other 2 Pokemon he has is Aerodactyl and Charizard. So none of those Pokemon only 3 of those Pokemon are Dragon type. Now, to be fair to him, there's not a lot of Dragon type in Generation 1 or 2, so that's probably why. Gyarados should be a Water Dragon, but it's a Water Flying, which I don't know why it's not flying. But Ancient Power is a 1 shot and then Psychic will finish it off. Dragonite, now this is where we'll steamroll his entire team. Ice Punch with a Never Melt Ice attached and beating Claire's attack, or Claire's gym, gives us a lot of boosts in our ice moves. So Ice Beam will blast through the Ice Punch will blast through the entire team here. So we beat the entire team. Oh, we got one more left. I'm sorry. Ancient Power should do pretty good against Charizard. He's a flying type. Very good. This gets the knockout. And then last Dragonite. As long as we go first, we're fine. Because we have an ice move and it's going to be a one-shot no matter what. And we get the win. So we beat Lance. And he's going to go take us to the Champion Hall. We're clicking, trying to get through. And we're looking at about like 1 hour and 46 minutes and 30 seconds roughly by the time we get to the thing or something like that. And I will say this, we will get a much better time in the future for almost any Pokemon except for some like Shuckle or whatever. So those Pokemon won't get any. But however, we get the win, we get into the Hall of Fame, and we clock in at 1 hour and 46 minutes and 20 seconds. So I'm going to let this play through for just a couple seconds, and we're going to move on to the next part of the game. And now that we beat the Elite Four, we're going to go ahead and go on to Johto. Now, Johto's gym leaders are pretty much tragic at this point because they're so low level compared to like half our levels almost. Not quite, but 20 levels lower. So we're going to obliterate this entire region. So we're going to go ahead and do Fire Punch, knock out. We're facing Lieutenant Surge right now if you haven't noticed. So Fire Punch will knock out. I don't know why you went for Ancient Power. Just go for Fire Punch, Electric type move. But we get to knock out Electrode. And Magneton's out, so go for Fire. I don't know why we're going for Ancient Power. I misread what Ancient Power was. I thought it was more powerful than 60 base power, but it's only 60 base power. And all along, I should have been using a move called I should have been using like Earthquake. But to be fair, Earthquake can't hit certain Pokemon. That's probably why I didn't use it. But we end up beating Lieutenant Surge anyway, and we beat him. He still hasn't improved. His team's much better than I'll give him that credit. But he still isn't that great at Pokemon. And his Raichu looks like it needs a diet, dude. And we move on to Sabrina and her whip. And we're going to go ahead and face her. I believe we added Earthquake at this point because of how... Okay, we did add Earthquake. Now, eventually we're going to have to get rid of Ancient Power. It's kind of pointless. The only thing good about it is you can get the Omni Boost once in a while. So Earthquake will be a one-shot on the first 2 Pokemon. Let's see if it's a one-shot on the Alakazam. It should be. Very good. Her team isn't very difficult, only has 3 Pokemon. We beat her and her whip, and we move on to the next gym leader. Now, I don't 100% remember everything here. Okay, Erica. So we got to face Erica now. So Erica is going to come out, and we have all the stuff. We have a way to beat everything in this gym. At this point with this Pokemon, you have a move for everything. Ice Beam will one-shot everything. I hung on to just enough Ice Beams to destroy her team. Yeah, we actually learned Ice Beam. I forgot to tell you that. So once you beat the Elite Four, you can go to the guy right outside the gaming corner in Goldenrod, and he'll teach you either Ice Beam, Flamethrower, or Thunderbolt. So you can learn one of those 3. So we get the win against Erica. Pretty handily win, honestly. I don't think we took any damage. We were poisoned the whole time. I don't think we took any poison damage. So everything was a one-shot. We get a move from her, which is actually not bad. I think it's Giga Drain, but we're not going to use it. And we move on to Janine. Janine is not a very good gym leader at all. Just like her dad. She's followed in her dad's footsteps perfectly. So now, I will say her gym has a lot less psychic Pokemon now and a lot more poison types, so good for her to conform everything to that style. But we have psychic, and this is all poison types, and poison's weak to psychic, so we're going to steamroll her entire team. We probably could have done this with Ancient Power, not Ancient Power, Secret Power, or Hidden Power. There's a lot of moves that have power in the name. Hidden Power would have been a very easy one. So, to steamroll this team as well. So we beat Janine. Very easy. And honestly, the stuff you have to do to get to the gym leaders on this side of the game in Kanto was very surprising to me how easy it was and how fast it was once I researched it. So this didn't take me very long. We got here about 2 hours and 10 minutes or something like that. And we're already on Brock, which is I think our 4th or 5th gym leader. So we're going to go ahead and beat Brock. Ice Beam will steamroll his entire team. I'm going to take a drink of my drink while this is going on. Just go ahead and watch the onslaught. Actually, it will not steam one-shot Almastar, and it may not one-shot the Kabuto because they're part water. But Rhyhorn is a one-shot for sure. Onix will be a one-shot for sure. And the last one, Kabutops, it may not be a one-shot. It is not because it's part water, but it does freeze them. And Earthquake gets the win. Beat Brock pretty handily. Wakanda forever! It's not quite as good as it is in Generation 1, huh? Not quite as the X crossing. It's more of an arms folding. And now we face Misty. She's actually one of the trickier ones to get because you got to do so many things to get her just to show up at her gym. But now we're going to go ahead and face Misty. And we're going to go for Earthquake on the first two Pokemon. It does not knock out the Starmie. It's almost, but now we get confused. That's fun. But we knock out the Starmie. I should have added Thunderbolt for this, but I didn't. Got rid of Ancient Power. Would have made this battle a million times easier. But I didn't do it, so it is what it is. Psychic will not be a one-shot. Oh, yeah, won't be a one-shot. Blizzard could have froze us there, so that was a risk. And like I said, Thunder Punch would have made this battle pretty much obsolete. I think I'm saving it for Red, which is why. So now we're talking to Blue. So if you don't know this, Cinnabar Island, like a volcano blows up. Now I've had a theory on this. It's a joke I have in my games, or in Gen 1, but it's also kind of a theory. Is I believe that Blaine was like doing some experiments, stealing some technology, and his lab blew up, or his gym blew up. That's like in his gym he has a lot of burglars and scientists. Okay, so now we're facing Blaine. He's at Seafoam Islands, and Psychic on the Magnemar, and then we have a Psychic on the Rapidash, and we beat him. It wasn't very difficult, not difficult at all. And I expected like a really cool move, but I guess we didn't get any moves from him. And so now we're facing Blue. Blue is the last trainer gym leader we have to face before we go face Red. And Pidgeot comes out. Ice Beam should be a one-shot. Very good. Then he's going to come out with his Alakazam. Earthquake should be a one-shot. Very good. Low defense on Psychic types. Gotta love that. Rhydon comes out. Ice Beam should be a one-shot. Very good. And we are steamrolling through this. Gyarados comes out. Thunder Punch should be a one-shot. Very good. And Executor should be a one-shot with Ice Beam. Very good. So, oh, he has one more Pokemon. I forgot about that. He has 6 Pokemon. And we beat Blue pretty handily. So now we're going to take Blue. We're going to take all the stuff we have, and we're going to go face Red. Red is the best trainer in the game. He has very high-level Pokemon. We are not far behind him, though. We are at level 68. So Earthquake will be a one-shot on the Pikachu. Very frail first Pokemon. Awesome. Espeon comes out. Now, Espeon can sand attack us. That's what we don't want. But we also don't have anything great against Espeon. Okay, so Psychic doesn't do much with us. We do have leftovers equipped, so we can replenish some health every time. Now, this is the one that's kind of like our brick wall right here, Snorlax. Psychic does about maybe a quarter right there. But all he does do Amnesia, which ups his defense, and then he's pretty bulky himself, so we don't have anything great against him. He's going to use Body Slam, and Body Slam has the opportunity to paralyze us, so we also have to run that risk. Now, eventually, he's just going to rest and replenish all of his health. The problem is we just don't have a move that does so much against him. I did not pick up Return. Like I said, I'm learning this. I know you can get Return. I don't remember the parameters. I think you have to be on a certain day, and I wasn't on that day. So that's the problem I'm having with that. So I think in the future I will set myself up to start the game on like a Sunday morning at 1 a.m. So I have the possibility of picking it up. So we're going to go ahead and face again. But what we're going to do is we have 9 rare candies we have not used. So for the sake of getting Mew a much better run than... he's going to get a better run in the future than 2 hours and 33 minutes. A lot of this is player error and just not knowing the game and learning the game while we're trying to play the game. So we're going to use all of our rare candies and see how much better this does when it comes to beating Red. So in the future, I will probably just use 3 at a time, kind of similar to Squidgy, just kind of see like if it helps. So now I'm going to go ahead and give a PowerPoint, a PP up to Earthquake, and so now we just got to face him again. So the question is, do we knock him out? Do we win this time? Or we're going to keep this battle going over and over and over again. So we went up almost 10 levels, so that's going to be a huge amount of damage rounding thresholds we didn't hit. So let's go ahead and hit Earthquake. It's a one-shot on the Pikachu. Pikachu's not the problem. Problem is we don't have anything great for Espeon. Earthquake is not a one-shot, and Psychic doesn't do much to us, so not too bad this time around. And now he's going to send out Snorlax. Snorlax has huge defense that we got to deal with. I'm trying to get a Paralyze or something. That's why I keep switching up my moves. Okay, Earthquake did a lot right there, and if we just do that much again with Earthquake, we're going to knock him out very good, and then the game's a clean sweep from here. Charizard, we have a great move for Charizard. It's Ice. We should have gone for Thunder Punch, not Ice Beam. we should have gone for Thunder Punch there. He's a flying type. It gets the knockout. It might have been a one-shot. I doubt it, but it would have been closer. Thunder Punch again will be the one we use. It'll be a 2-shot. Blastoise is pretty bulky. And then the last Pokemon is Venusaur, which we should one-shot with Ice Beam. No, hands down, no problem. Is it a one-shot? No, it's not, but he just takes in some sunlight because he's about to do Solar Beam. But we get the win, and we beat Red at about 2 hours and 35 minutes and 30-some seconds. So, I'm going to go ahead and pause the playthrough right there, and I'm going to talk about it. So, again, this is my first playthrough of Pokemon Crystal. So, if I'm not playing through the perfect way that a lot of the YouTubers have, it's because I don't know the game as well. I will learn the game. I will get repetition and learn some ins and outs. 2 hours and 35 minutes is a long time for this Pokemon, and it does deserve a better time in the future. So keep that in mind. I will play through this in the future, but I needed to learn this game, and I wanted to do it on a Pokemon that wasn't like a starter or something, so I don't taint their run. Mew is going to get another run in the future, so I'm not too worried about him. And let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the layout. Let me know what you think of the playthrough. As I get better at it, I'll get more detail on the game and give you that throughout the playthrough. But if you watch this, I do appreciate it because you're watching a guinea pig style run where I'm testing out the game and you're viewing a lot of that. So let me know what you think and have a good one, and I'll see you. Oh, next week. Next week I have a double battle or a versus series we're going to play through as. It's going to be Poliwrath versus Gyarados in Generation 1. So let me know what you think about that. The prediction video will be out on Monday. So let me know what you think. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Monday.